Reminder to all of our athletes at 7:35 place. If that is you, now is the time. When the start line is calling, we will be crowned our British champion after our 12-kilometre course.
So we are now live.
Race briefing occurs in 1 minute, ladies and gentlemen. That is 1 minute where James Burton will be giving
The British UK Championships. And I have got with me Will Chung, co-hosting. Hi, Will.
Good morning. Good morning, everyone.
And we have got on film at the moment, we have got Kelly Spalding. We are going to get Claire on there as well. And she's going to join us very shortly. She's just having some technical issues. So I've just got a message from Claire. Listen, she has got to download the app so that we can load her up. That she's just going to jump on soon, and she's going to be following the leaders round. So
the race briefing is happening in 30
you can see Dan Titcombe there, one of the favourites for the race, last year's UK OCR Series winner. Well, we was talking earlier, and we're saying that Tom Tweddle's back in this race, first race back from injury. What do you rate his chances as?
Well, apart from a little bit of ring rust, I think he's going to do really well. I think this is a relatively runner's course. Hill at the beginning, which you guys will see quite flat in the middle, and then a few undulations towards the end. But this is a runner's course. I think Tom Tweddle, even though he's not really been competitive in OCR recently, actually, I don't think he's won any OCR at all since last year. This is a course for him.
Yeah, I think so too. I think so too. I mean, there's some great runners here, you know, as we talk about, we've got Russell Walsh in there, we've got Jason Brunnock, you know, to name a few that are probably going to be up there. Morgan, Dan, but on paper, when it comes to times, Tom's the man to beat, you know, and he's a bit of a Spartan fan as well. You know, over the years, he's gone to Spartan and done really, really well.
I tell you, and actually another one, we've got Scotty Barker here, Luke de Benedictis, both Spartan races. I think it's right down their wheelhouse as well. Maybe not quite the same speed, but they've got that technical ability to follow on. And of course, Chris Shipley.
So if you are an elite athlete and you are not in the start, then you are going to miss your start.
Of course, we've got Chris Shipley, who's hot host. He's running. He's managed to get himself a ticket.
Yeah, last minute. I was asking to see if he does some filming for us, but unfortunately he couldn't because he managed to get himself a ticket at the very last minute.
30 seconds.
What do you think about Finlay Greenleaf in here, Will? You know, he's a youngster. He's qualified. He's second currently in the UK OCR Series, 3 races, and a cracking score, 1,215 points after 3 races. You know,
ready to
what
roll.
do you think of his chances here?
By the way, 7 age group men, that's under 20. 20 to 24.
Again, I think he's got a really good chance. It's a runner's course. It's not going to be too boggy. It's not going to be kind of, draining of strength. So as long as he can keep his top speed up, which we know he's a bloody fast runner, I think he's going to do well. Probably, somewhere around the top 5, definitely.
Cool. Me too. Let's listen to what they're saying.
All right, gang. Really wave. Pretty pressed in the side defense. Thank you all for coming. You've got an incredible course out there. I ran it yesterday. So just a few things to mention, and then Phil's going to get you started. Headbands must always be shown. I know there's been a bit of back and forth, but always seems to be on your head. You can take it down and go and underside back and head afterwards. If a TO asks you to show your number, you need to make sure you show them your number. Course is just under 14k. There is, as you may have seen, no water crossing. So there's a route around the lake. And not crossing the lake. Unfortunately, had to be removed. You'll be in the dunk wall just before though, so you'll cool down. 8-hanger. We're obviously going to be doing 8-hanger, but just to confirm, if you don't want to do 8-hanger, you still have to go through the water before you do your penalty. But I know you will be doing it. I was going to say that's been resolved, so you're all good there. Last thing, just to mention, probably for Daz's benefit, is no spear throw in the British game. Okay? So you'll be directed around that, and then you're straight into firefight. That's all from me. Race with integrity, race hard, have lots of fun, and wish you all the best of luck. I'm going to pass to one and only Phil. James, very kind.
Good morning, gentlemen. How are we doing? Levels of enthusiasm this morning, James. Very, very high. We're quite excited.
Viewers, as you can
Ladies,
see,
how are we doing?
I've just been joined by Claire. You all know Claire. Claire is absolutely amazing.
All right, folks, I know that you want
She
to
is,
get off this morning, so I'm not going to do too much. I am, however,
coming from us today from the leaders.
one
So
time,
she-
boys. If
Managed
you
to
want to
grab
tune
a buggy.
in,
I hope we've got a
who
buggy.
am
Yeah,
I?
that's the one.
We will scream really
and
nice
she
and
can be
loud.
following the
I
ladies
am
around.
a Spartan. James, I'm expecting you to join in with this. All right, gentlemen. Let's try it one time. Here we go. Who am I? I am a Spartan. You ready? Who am I? Of course you are. Gentlemen, start your engines. We are leading in 3, 2, 1. Let's battle the Spurs.
And we're off. The 2024 British OCR Championships. What obstacle we got up first? Will.
So
Have you
they're
got a list
straight
there?
out.
I've got the outs.
Yes,
Which-
it's straight out to over under through, which is the flat part. And then they go straight into the woods, and they'll go uphill into quite a steep climb. But yeah, over under through. And they've got to get out front, really, just because, you know, if you're a little bit behind, you're going to start to queue. You're going to lose a few seconds just by waiting for others to get through those obstacles. So you really need to sprint out and get in front there.
Yeah, I can see we've got looks like they've just gone through it now. They're turning out. So when you turn, is it a left and then a right and go up the hill into the woods?
Yeah, that's right. And it's all quite nicely paved. Oh, there goes the ladies too.
Oh, the ladies are off too. Oh, that's quite a decent field there as well.
I actually thought they was going to give us a few minutes between the two, but yeah, we've got a really good elite female elite field too. We'll go through those as the race goes through.
Yeah, definitely. So I think the looks like they're coming up a cracking pace here. This men's field. Well, I mean, we've been here for. I've been here for Tough Mud. I haven't done a Spartan at Beaver Castle. Have you been to a Spartan at Beaver?
Also, I've been a Spartan at Beaver Castle. It's just the week before. Yes, again a lot of the same route. So a lot of the things that we'll see, you will definitely recognise, and it allows us to maybe give the viewers a little bit more insight into, you know, kind of the elevation or the terrain that's going on.
Yeah, this first section is very much uphill, isn't it? You know, you're going up towards the castle. A bit of a paved road, and then it goes onto a bit of a dirty track.
Yep, that's right. I think the next obstacle they'll get to is there's a hay bale wall, bail bonds for the Tough Mudders. But then it's straight uphill. It's lovely. It's a lovely run. The area is absolutely beautiful and gorgeous to run around. But yeah, bit of a hill. It's quite a strong elevation straight after these hay bale.
Yeah. So looks like we've only got 2 hay bales there. Will, we normally see quite a lot more than that.
But yeah, they'll add a few more in later on. Kelly, if you just turn your camera off, we should be able to see a bit more of Claire's filming.
Thank you, Kelly.
So, Alan, why don't we go through some of the female list these guys now. There's a bit of a run before their next obstacle.
Yeah, yeah. So I mean, when we're on there on the female side of things, I saw that on the start line there was Becky and there was Fedi. Fedi's the current leader in the UK OCR series. She's absolutely smashing that at this moment in time. Did I see Josie Lloyd on the start line? Did you see Josie there, Will?
I missed that, but Josie is on the list. Karen Macquarie, of course, on the list too. We've got, let's have a look, Pip Rainbow. We've got Lizzie Brimickham. There's a lot of fantastic names here. And Connie, of course, Laura Haywood, of course, and Lou Ferriman.
Louise has been training really hard recently, she's been putting the mileage in. She's going to Europe's toughest mudder, so maybe she could be a bit of a dark horse coming up in this race. I don't know if it's me or if I've lost the team here. So I hope we can hear one of us. But we're coming up through the woods. This is a bit of a new section for me personally. I've never been up this end. We can't quite see.
So this next section, as you can see, this is basically the side of the hill. They've run up the hill, really steep incline, straight up, and now they're running along the hill, and then they'll be going downhill towards the next one, which is Bender. We'll then go into basically what I'd call a very flat section of the course, and it loops around. So there's a couple more obstacles there. We've got cargo net crawl, inverted wall, vertical cargo net trenches, barbed wire, 8-hanger, the Taurus beater, which we'll talk about that when we get to it a little bit more, balance beams and dunk wall. So there's quite a longish section which loops around this big field, which is all flat, but straight uphill, straight downhill, and they're going down along and down towards Bender right now.
Yeah, this is a very, very long running section. Does that look like Dan in front? Is that Dan Titcombe at the right, I think?
Your eyes are obviously a lot better than mine at the moment.
I think the truck driver who's driving Claire around is giving us a little bit of a run for our money.
Yeah, he's a bit keen, isn't he?
Yeah. I think I get the why. I think he doesn't want to slow down too much and let them catch him up. So I think on the start line here, is this the age group, is it, or is this going to be the adaptive athletes? Do we know?
I need to learn how to use Zoom and change my views, because I can just see like a really small 1-inch video on my screen. You tell me.
Yeah, I guess if anyone's looking on a phone, they're going to really, really struggle here. Luckily, I've got a big screen TV in front of me, so I'm actually watching it on a big screen. It does look like age group runners, if I'm honest.
I've learned how.
Kelly can jump on and maybe tell us if she's listening.
Yeah, it's the men's age group. I think they said 18 to 39. So those few age groups.
Fantastic. they're setting them off at quite a fast pace here, well, aren't they? You know, not the front runners, but I mean the actual age group and everything else. They seem to be coming out very, very quick. Do you think we maybe get some of the later age groups catching each other?
Oof. Possibly, but I think, of course, it is a Spartan weekend. The Beast is running off today, and I think Sprint is going sometime today as well. I'm doing Super tomorrow, so of course they need to get people out. There's thousands of people running today, so getting through those through those waves.
Yeah.
There was absolutely no warning that the women's elite was going. They literally just started again.
We were a little shocked that they went so fast after each other. So, but we're there now. We're okay.
The last thing in terms of the course, remember, British Spearthrow is not in the race. Yeah. So you go straight through, be directed to 5 miles or 5 miles. Yeah, just for your race, have lots of fun, race with integrity, race hard, and we all the best of luck.
We have got Claire's come back with us. Now she has told me the truck's quite noisy here today. I wonder if she can actually just tell us who's leading, if she can hear me.
Right, ladies and gents, it's a beautiful morning. The sun is actually out in the sky, that being England, that's something of a rarity. So I'm sure we're all ready to get racing. I'm going to take you off in a traditional manner. You're going to hear me say, "Who am I?" You want to scream back out.
I don't think she can hear as well.
No, but it looks like they've just gone over Bender, and they'll go around to, as I say, now this is quite a relatively flat field, and they loop around this where there's, you know, maybe 5 or 6 different obstacles now.
Yeah, I think they've got a couple of little easy obstacles, haven't there? Is it the cargo walls? This is a bit of a long run back across the top of the field before they drop to like the downhill section. We go back over the road.
Right, ladies and gents, okay, so who am I at the spot? Are we ready?
All getting closer.
Who am I?
Does that look like Morgan in front?
To race! 2.
And it looks very much like Dan to me, who out lead him. And it does look like Tom. That running style is very much a Tom Tweddle running style.
Yeah, I was just thinking that. So I thought I saw a flash of purple, but of course it's the black and yellow, isn't it?
It's the black and yellow of Wild Forest. As people don't know, Dan's now running for Wild Forest, for Nuclear Wild Forest. Tom looks comfortable there running just behind, doesn't he?
Yeah. Look at both of them though. They're just like gazelles, aren't they? That beautiful stride along this. Although to be fair, the Beaver Castle Estate is a really nice maintained trail running, so there's not going to be any divots, and you can just put your foot down, not really worry that you're going to trip into any divots or holes or rabbit holes or anything like that.
No. So we've got Donna Jenna Hall. Anyone knows Donna? That's just from Obstacle Media Magazine, Obstacle Mud Runner and Media Magazine. How are you, Donna? Can you hear us? I think you're on mute. I think she's on mute there.
Still can't hear you, Donna.
No. Just like we're coming down a downhill section here, Will, for the front men.
Next up,
Yep, so Carl going at Crawl. I'm trying to see any further back, but there were no men within any shouting distance, are there? Between those two, it's quite a distance before we get to third, and I can't even. Our third is what, about 20-30 meters behind? I can just about.
Yeah, it looks a little bit further than 20-30 meters to me. So that looks like a double cargo net crawl as well. So quite a hefty one. What, 10 meters?
Devil's Beard.
Devil's not quite the length of Devil Beers. Kelly, what wave have we got going off here?
So this is the men's 40 plus, right up to, as Spartan Phil just said, 400. So
Inverted wall.
They make it look so easy, don't they? So what's this? This must be about what, 2 miles into it now, I think.
Yeah, probably. Yeah, about 2 miles. So this field now, they're basically looping this around a couple of times, but this is a relatively flat section for them to really put their foot down. So they'd be running through to vertical cargo net crawl next, and then back up, and it's a basically a double obstacle. What we've got, barbed wire crawl and trenches, and then barbed wire crawl after this. But vertical cargo net, relatively easy. But actually, you can probably catch just a couple of seconds that someone that may have just lost a bit of a foothold, or going over the top. For some people, it's a little bit slow. So there is technique to get over this this cargo net. Oh, and I just saw there was that little bit of Irish table before you get to the top of it too.
Yeah. A little bit of a challenge there. Mixed it up slightly.
But they really are going step for step, aren't they? Dan's not losing Tom. Tom's probably, he loses a little bit on each obstacle. So Dan's that little bit more efficient over the obstacles. But Tom then very quickly, he just catches right back up again. He only loses a few steps, but there you go. Tom's right back on his shoulder again.
Yeah, and you would probably expect that with a little bit of rustiness when it comes to not competing obstacle course racing for a while. I know he's done some road runs and things like that, but coming back from injury, you would expect a bit of rustiness on the obstacles. Do you think it might take its toll in the rig section? We've got like Tom, we've got the Torres firefighters and the Torres stroke beta rig. Do you think that's where it may potentially struggle? I don't know.
I think you're right, especially the Torres rigs. But I don't think it's going to be necessarily just through tiredness. It is going to be just a little bit of ring rust.
Yeah.
But then there is still, actually there isn't really much of a run in after that. So maybe Tom needs to put his foot down and get in front with the rigs in mind.
Yeah. I think it's a bit too early to make a move now. I think if he's going to do it, he's going to do it when it goes up the hill. Just before now when I'm looking at this, it's it goes 21 and 22, so the bucket carry to Stairway to Sparta. I think if he's going to make that move, it's going to be going up that hill.
Yeah, that hill actually is a bit of a monster as well. Do you know who the rabbit is in the orange? Is that
Is that across the other side? I don't know who that is.
Yeah, I'm just wondering what other media is out supporting and doing some British obstacle sports racing.
You guys can scream back at me. I am.
Only if Mark Dixon's made his way back, because he's probably one of the very few people that can keep up with them all.
Oh, look. Tom's now in front.
Oh, yeah. Here we go. Are we ready? So this must be difficult for them to go and come back on themselves. Different techniques there as well. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Another age group off there, Will, as well.
I was about to say, who's that in third? So they're not that far behind now. I think whoever it is, we'll see in a second, third and fourth, starting to catch up. They were definitely further behind.
That looks like Morgan.
Mo, yeah.
And
Is that Chris?
it looked like Chris. Yeah, I thought he was going to play and take it easy.
Some fantastic filming from Claire. Thank you very much for just stopping there to allow us to catch up with the second, third, fourth places.
And they're back together.
Right now, Ape Hangers next.
Yes, this could be one where we see, you know, potentially, and I say potentially, you know, we've got to get 100% completion. This could be a clean race. This is where they want to get that clean race in to get this one done.
And I don't know whether the viewers who are watching, whether they heard James talking about it, but you don't have to do Ape Hanger, but you still have to take a penalty, but you still have to wade through the water of Ape Hanger. So you can't just skip it, not get wet, and do the penalty. You have to wade through, which this is normally Funky Monkey, isn't it? It's probably about 5 foot deep. So actually wading through is going to be quite difficult. So you're better off trying to do as much of Ape Hanger as you can, rather than trying to wade through and take the penalty.
Yeah, definitely. Definitely. I mean, we say Ape Hanger. I mean, do we think it's going to have the Twister on? Because last year we saw them put Twister on, didn't we, as for ETM? Was that a prelude for this year? I don't know. This could be interesting. If any of our watchers want to leave any messages in the chat, please feel free. We'll try and answer them as best we can.
I'm sure everyone that's watching knows what this is, but basically it's a hanging rope ladder that ascends up a little bit and then ascends back down. Because it's a rope and it hangs, that makes it that little bit more difficult. But it's all about momentum and technique.
And there we go. As we mentioned there, Dan, not obstacle rusty, just shows how doing these on a regular basis can get you a lead. Tom's now going to catch him back up.
Yeah, that's a good 10, 15 meters, isn't it? And if he has to do that for each of the larger obstacles, that's going to start to take some toll out of you.
Now, I'm hoping this is Tom and not Russell, because I haven't seen Russell Walsh out there, and we know he is fast. And it kept up with Dan for quite a while in one of the races earlier this year.
Russell was probably was it 5th place after Chris, before or after Chris, which kind of can't quite tell, but he usually runs shirtless.
Yes, yeah, that white, that's what made me think it was Tom with the blue shirt. But so if we're wrong here, we're wrong here, watchers, we do apologise. We don't think we are. There we go. So Tom's almost caught him back up again. That's what we was talking about earlier on, the speed of what he has to get through, you know, the running sections and that.
So next up is Taurus Beta. So this is one of the first obstacles that's been a bit of a mashup with British obstacle course, British obstacle sports.
Yeah, so this goes from, once again, he takes these, you know, obstacle proficiency there is showing.
So what's this going out, Kelly? Female age?
Yeah, this is the women's age groups. It's all of the age groups, I believe.
So I just want to say a personal shout out to Susie. Susie's running her first OCR obstacle race. She's going straight into age group. I'm running with her tomorrow, but she's Irish pentathlete.
got a quick message there from Louis asking, do we know the current ladies' positions? At this moment, Louis, we don't. We're hoping to get an update at some point. We have got people on the course, so I'm constantly watching my phone so we can get an update on them. As soon as we do, we will let you know.
Just to jump in, I'm not sure if you guys saw that, but Tom is on a penalty loop after coming off of the balance walls, and Mo is just on his way down to the balance beams now.
Oh, thanks for that, Claire. That's we actually missed that. We was watching the ladies' age group there. So for you guys who you catch that, Claire's just come on there and told us that Tom fell off the balance beams, so he's on a penalty loop. That could change it up, Will. That could really. You know, we talked about a clean race. That could mess it up slightly.
Yeah, and the balance one is always a good, strange obstacle. Not at all technical, but it's all about the balance. And it's one you probably not want to fail because there's probably other obstacles, you know, other rigs and things that you thought that's where you're going to fail. So having, let's say, an additional penalty loop that you probably weren't going to count on is again quite tight.
Definitely.
So Mo has now moved up into second. Tom has just finished on his penalty loop and is now running back through, overtaking the first person, and then he's now chasing down Russell. Oh no, Dax. So he's just taken Russell, now he's chasing down Dax.
Okay, so we've got that. So Tom's chasing them down. It looks like he's chasing. I think Claire said he's chasing Max down there. Morgan's in second.
Who am I? I am a slime. Got it? Here we go.
Thank you for that, Claire. Thanks for the update there.
All right, we're setting you up in 3.
I hope our watchers will are not too disappointed because they're normally used to Claire's commentary on these things. And she's really, really good at it. So we're having to make a stand in here, Will. So I hope our watchers are not too disappointed with mine and your voice.
I just saw a lot of Rumble Fitness vests go out there, and Wendy Richards is out there too. Really strong supporter of British Obstacle Sports. Good luck, ladies. Yeah, I mean, maybe Alan, we should shut up and just let Claire take over.
We were hoping that she was going to jump on as much as possible, and she is. But she has told me, Will, that the truck's very, very loud that she's in. And you know, people wouldn't be able to listen to her. What would be the game plan now, do you think, for Dan at this point? So he knows that he's now got a bit of daylight between them. Does he push on? Does he step it up and try and get a really good lead?
You know what? It depends on how well they know this course, because the next part is really quite hilly and it is kind of uphill. So the way it's looping, it's going to go uphill, downhill, uphill. I'd probably wait. And which one is it? There's got to be a carry, then it loops back to a carry and then back up a hill again. I'd probably try and put my foot down after that carry and back uphill just to try and break a few people, because some of them you will be going past them as you're looping across. So that's where I would do it, between 15, which is the Atlas carry, and chain carry, which is 17, Taurus multi-rig. I'd be putting my foot down then, and then if that doesn't work, then there's another uphill towards Stairway to Sparta. It's a long drag uphill and it's a long run. That's where I'd probably put in a second burst as well. But yeah, I wouldn't maintain. I'd maintain up to the hill and then just put my foot down. And hopefully, as you're passing people on the loop, it'll break them, because they go, "Oh my god, that's so much further in front."
Yeah, we lost Claire a little bit there, Will. For our viewers, that was because there was the water crossing and Claire's in a little buggy. She can't get all the way across the water. She had to take the long route round. So that's currently what she's doing. She'll be catching them up shortly.
And that water crossing is horrible. If anyone that's going to be doing Tough Mudder next week, because there's so many people going through it, it's basically now going to be a bog for next week. Anyone, especially doing the Sunday at Tough Mudder.
Cool. Kelly, have we got the adaptive athletes going off here?
We have, yes.
So we've got a field of 3. I know we've got Jamie in there. I'm going to say I do apologise, viewers. I don't know the fields of the adaptive athletes.
So
Same
I
as
think
these
we've
guys will, you know, anyone who's an active athlete doing Spartan, Tough Mudder, any obstacle course race, I take my hat off to every one of them because it's not for the faint-hearted, these things. So big challenges.
Sorry, Kelly, weren't you about to say something?
yeah, I was just to say I think it's Jamie Gain, Chris Harris, and Harrison Hendricks going for the paras.
Perfect. Thank you for that, Kelly.
And didn't all of those three go to the Euro Championships and do very well again?
They did, yeah. They all did fantastic.
So I can see on the other feed we're catching back up with Dan Titcombe.
I think he's just gone over the slip wall. So this is where you were talking about this, Will, the Atlas carry. It did look there like Dan had got his pace up a little bit and was really stepping it up.
So Dan's just doing the Atlas carry. It then loops uphill a little bit and then goes downhill. So around this bit of the hill, I'd be putting your foot down because you're looping, you're going by people in third, second, third, fourth place, so they can see how far back they are, and of course, conversely, you can see how far in front you are as well. So just that bit of psychological advantage, I think this is when you'd start to really put your foot down.
Definitely. And he did that there, and second place had not even started it. So that's got to be a motivator for him to let's step this up, let's get this hill done. Because he's gonna go up it and then he loops back down it, doesn't he?
That's right. So he's going to go up a little bit, and then he's down towards almost basically down to the bottom end when they did the crossing, and then back up the hill. So you're kind of doing a loop back on yourself. But by then you've got, what's the next one? There's a chain carry loop before going back up the hill. But all of this section now is all on the side of a hill. So there's hardly any flat now until you get towards the end. So it very much gaining and losing elevation with every bloody step. It's heartbreaking, especially if you're doing Europe Toughest Mudder in the middle of the night and you've got this hill to do. It on the video it doesn't look so bad when you're actually going full pelt like these guys are. It's not nice. It's quite nasty.
Oh, yeah,
And we've got the chain carry coming up next. Now, I've looked at this chain carry, and on the map that we've got, this looks like a big chain carry. This looks like, a good 200-300 meter chain carry, going slightly downhill, turning back to go up the hill at the side before you come back down. This is going to take it out of you.
Yeah, I saw this loop too. And it's like, wow, that looks on the map. It looks like a big loop for a chain carry. Yeah, I mean, look, these guys are used to it. They'll be fine.
I'm glad you're saying that and not me. I don't think I'd be fine at this.
Yeah, well, this is me sitting down in a really nice warm, just finishing my porridge and my coffee, just waking up for this. So, I've not even been awake for an hour yet. But yeah, this is what they're made for, and this is what obstacle racing is not only about the speed, is it? This is very much strength element. So, who's this going out at the start line, Kelly?
This is our international wave.
Oh, wow. This is a new one for us then.
Yeah, so unfortunately, I don't know the names.
So the international wave, because this is now a qualifier for the World Championships, isn't it? So that's why you've now got the international wave. I don't have all the names. I've only got a few here from when I did Who's Hot. Thomas Rodeshi, Andis Sackney, and Jonas Drescher, which I think Chris did shout out because he's probably the guy with his shirt off, and you can see he's actually
he did, and he
well
is.
whipped. So stop zooming on him, Kelly. I think you're making us all feel really bad.
think the guy next to him is Gustav somebody. I think they run together quite frequently.
They're not hanging about with these starts, are they? You know, we've like what we're 40 minutes into it, not even an hour into it, and we look like we've got them all off and they're all running. That is pretty slick organisation, that.
Definitely. I think there's probably one more wave, if anything, which will be kind of the open wave, the non-competitive wave, and then I think that'll be everyone gone then.
Yeah.
Are the 14 to 17s going this morning, or are they going with the juniors this afternoon?
That's a good question, Kelly, and not one that I know the answer to.
I have just looked and they are scheduled to go off later on this afternoon. 14 to 17 is approximately 12:30. The 10 to 13 approximately 10:45.
Fabulous.
So that'll be, there's a slightly different course change on that one, isn't there, Will? Am I right in saying that the juniors, the 14 17 is a 6.5 kilometre course?
That's right. So I've got here the 10 to 13 is a 3K course, and for the 14 to 17 it's a 5K, 5-ish K. We know what you OCR RDs are like. You know, it's never quite spot on, is it? Extra kilometre here or there doesn't really hurt, but no. 3K for the 10 to 13s at 10:45, and 5K for the 14 to 17 around about 12:30.
I'm looking at this with Dan and this chain carry. This chain carry looks very heavy, Will. He's slumped over there. He's not quite running, but it looks very heavy, that.
Aren't they in and around the 30-35K mark, something like that?
The 35K mark.
He's just finished that loop, and was that Mo just starting?
Like, yeah. We'll watch these go off.
Was that the first wave that actually shouted back, "I am a Spartan"?
They were the loudest wave by quite a lot.
There we go. So I think I'm going to do a little bit of technical difficulties over in that top hill, where Claire's filming. We keep losing a little bit of connection up there. Well, you'd think with it being on the top of the hill, it'd be a little bit easier.
Well, to be fair, they was at the bottom of the hill and they're climbing up to the top of this hill, so it's quite a long drag now. But the next obstacle is the Taurus multi-rig. So again, this is a British Obstacle Sports exclusive to this course. So this will be really interesting. Wonder if they've brought any of the rigatoni or the coffee beans or pizza slices back from the Euros for this one.
That would be very interesting. You think James was out there and he was just like, "Oh, I want one of these and one of these and one of these and one of these," like a shopping list.
To be fair, I thought that was pretty neat when we was going through on Who's Hot. It's really nice that they're able to bring a little bit of culture and into the Euros rather than it just being an obstacle.
Yeah, because when you go to the Olympics and things like that, the opening ceremony is a bit of culture and that from each country, and then yeah, I can't put any culture into the Olympics in terms of the actual events, but would be good instead of throwing discus, we saw them throwing pizzas. But we've got a couple of obstacles, quite heavy obstacle section now coming up, which is number 17, which is a multi-rig like you mentioned. And then we've got a sandbag carry, another barbed wire crawl, a plate drag, and then a bucket carry, which the bucket carry goes up and down the hill. So I think this is quite a steep hill. I think we've had on this hill, is it where we've had Devil's Beard before that goes up the hill and back down?
Before we go on to that, do you think the way that this map looks, so the sandbag carry, I think you're carrying the sandbag through the barbed wire crawl and maybe somehow doing a plate drag and a sandbag carry at the same time before you're dropping off the sandbag before getting back up to the bucket carry. What do you reckon?
It does look that way, doesn't it? You know, because there's the loop, you know, and it just say 18 picking up the sandbag, then 19, 20 are on that loop. Well, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be, I'd not even thought about that. Good spot, Will.
Well, that's why I'm here to help you out. What's this one going out, Kelly?
I don't know. None of them have headbands. Oh, I think they're wearing them around their wrists.
Oh, it's got to be the open waves.
Yeah, they still have red headbands, so I'm not sure if that's how the opener
wouldn't-
are doing it.
Okay, so we're going over to Claire. We've got the Taurus rig. It looks like Dan's making short work of it right now. Yeah, gone. Simple.
Okay, yes, so they've got their bands on their wrist to show that they're an open runner.
Okay. That's a good idea, that. Keep them on your wrist, show you're an open runner. Get the same colour band as the rest of them, Will. Means that, like, you know, when you get back and you're showing your bands off, you're not sort of differentiating, you know, you're still an athlete of high caliber.
So we can see now we've got Dan with the sandbag carry. He's definitely going to go under the Bob Wyckoff with that sandbag. Yeah, nice.
Now, is that Tom catching? Can I see Tom in the background there, just coming up?
Oh, interesting. Hopefully Claire can give us a bit of an update when if she hears us.
This
I
looks
am
like
interested.
a long barbed wire crawl as well.
I am interested to see if it's going to be a plate drag and a sandbag carry at the same time. It's got to be. He's carrying it through. There's no way of putting that sandbag down before the plate carry now. So that'd be interesting. Something on his shoulder while you're dragging something behind him.
I don't know whether you're aware, but
Yep, Claire can hear us. Claire, if you can hear us, can you just confirm that we've still got Dan out front and we have got Tom in second?
I think like after the three of them. Right, folks. So Jenny's got to let you know about the important stuff. Michael, the big crowd is sent off before we go.
Now 5 of them under that net. So Dan T in first. Then we've got Tom T right behind him. Das, Mo, and Russell all under the net. Jason just coming in to join. It's definitely a massive point to slow them down here and also potentially create some traffic jams.
Amazing. I'm loving it.
Nobody else coming down towards the rig at the moment.
Well, there we go. So we seem to have bunched back up, Will. You said earlier on that you thought Dan had probably put his foot down to create a lead. However, it looks like the places behind him have seen where he is, you know, and decided to put their foot down and try and catch him. It's like I've lost Will there.
No, sorry, I was just watching the action. This is now so exciting with the top 5 all relatively close, and I think you're right. The other thing is maybe he's just Dan's thought is about taking a breather. Again, if you know this course quite well, it's all hilly now, so it might be that he's taking his time on through these set of obstacles before putting his foot down as he takes the hill up to Stairway to Sparta. So I can see here they've put the sandbags down. They're doing the plate drag without it, and then probably then picking the bag back up. That would be interesting to put the bag
on the sled. Will they have to take the sandbag on the sled with them and pull that up the hill.
Wow. That looks like we've got 5 runners there, all doing the same obstacle. This is now getting close.
This is really interesting because yeah, we were saying how Dan was so far in front. Tom Tom had that penalty, so he got down to fourth place. He's caught back up, but now they've bunched back up. So whether Dan is playing a little bit tactical and just slowing down here just to save a bit of energy.
Sorry.
Yeah, I saw this at Total Warrior, Will, when Dan took the lead at Total Warrior, and I spoke to him after the race last year, and I said, you took the lead, you was a good 100 meters in front of second, and apologies there, I can't remember who was second, it might have been Mo. I said, did you try and were you aware of it? And he said, yeah, he just managed the lead. So he said he was managing it then. So where we are, so it's the front two. So it is Dan still and Tom.
So they are going up to bucket carry. So there's a bit of a drag of the bucket carry now or anytime soon.
So as you can see, this is up a hill and back down as well. They've been wicked this year with the obstacles. Russell there in third. That looks like Mo in fourth. And I think Claire said to us, I think she said Jason was in fifth.
I think Das was in and around this group as well.
Now, that's Russell running up the hill? Have we got
Tom, did Tom go into? Yeah, you can just see
Yeah.
Tom in first place now. So Dan is falling behind. Look at that hill, and of course on video it never looks as bad, but that looks horrible.
Yeah.
I'm going to do that tomorrow.
That is a serious hill. That's a serious bucket carry. Will the penalty loop come back and bite Tom a little bit later on? So you have to expend a little bit of energy to not just run it, but to then catch up with everyone.
Well, you know what? I'm now thinking maybe Tom was just keeping on Dan's shoulder and just keeping comfortable. He may have been able to go in front, but maybe he was just kind of saving some back. So actually catching back up wasn't as much in terms of energy spent as what you and I would have
Can I
expected.
just jump in super quick, Will? Just sorry, what the truck stop? It was quite interesting watching them when they were together because neither of them looked like they were absolutely struggling. They both looked relatively comfortable, and I think it's going to be really interesting as we move along to see how that develops.
Yeah, thanks for that, Claire. We was thinking very, very similar there. It looks like Dan's now got a second breath there, if I'm honest. Hopefully Claire can come back and jump on us and let us know. Is that Mo in second?
Look at that speed that downhill with what is it, about 20-30k bucket on your shoulder, and yet they're running like gazelles as they always do. But it looks as though there's no effort when you're trying to keep that that bucket balanced on your shoulder as you're running down a bloody hill.
Yeah, this is fast. This is a fast race. And they're now back going uphill again now. This is a very long uphill section. I remember doing ETM and this really took it out of me every lap coming all the way up this hill, right to the very top, where we've got Stairway to Sparta. This hill, if you don't time it right, you can blow up on this.
Yeah, and it's a very long drag as well. What do you reckon, about a kilometer before we get to the very top? Look at that. He's just running so easy, but it's a long drag. It's not steep at all, but it just keeps going and going and going.
Yeah. Like we said at the beginning of the show as well, good to see Tom coming back. Running at the best, after a long-term injury.
But you can see from Kelly's Claire's pictures there how far back everyone is, but actually how far down that how looking at what the elevation really is from there. Because again, it's always very difficult to gauge on camera, but that was a really good shot to show what the elevation gain is over this long stretch.
Yeah, definitely, definitely. This is I mean, it's coming. Is he coming to like the fence now? There's a little fence just here. I think you have to go over the fence, don't you?
Check you out.
Yeah. I think it was just there. I think they've taken the fence out and opened it up for them. They don't have for any of the Tough Mudders.
Yeah, they normally put the just the hay bales there, isn't it? It's just another bloody obstacle to get over, which in the day is fine. But I've done ETM here a few times, and trying to do that at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning after several laps, it's just, oh gosh, another bloody obstacle.
Yeah,
But as
definitely.
you can see, as we're talking, we've been talking a while, and he's still climbing. But the speed that he's going and putting his foot down really is it's just immense.
He is flying. I mean, it looks like as well. I mean, we can't see the full length, but it looks like he's pulling away.
Beautiful day over in Beaver as well.
Yeah. So Kelly's left us, by the way, now, viewers. So thanks to Kelly there. She's now going out to do the beast. So all the starts have gone. She was there doing the starts for us and everything else. So we're going to stay with Claire. We have asked Claire if you can just swing a phone round and see if we can do it on a landscape mode. So hopefully technology will let us do that. This is the first time we've done this, viewers. So please bear with us. We are learning as we go along. As you can see, we have actually lost connection. So hopefully we can get that back shortly. We hope you're enjoying it at this moment in time. This is the British UK Championships 2024, live, hosted by British Obstacle Sports and Spartan Racers. So hopefully we'll get them back shortly.
So we're pretty much getting to the top of the hill, which is Stairway to Sparta. Yep, Stairway to Sparta. And then they start to very quickly make their way down. So this will be it in terms of elevation gain. A few kind of undulations, but you're now going back down to the finish line. But again, there's another loop here. So depending on how far in front or behind you are, you'll be able to gauge where you are compared to other races as well.
Yeah, I think just after that Stairway to Sparta, there's some like little mogul hills though where we can potentially you might lose sight of where someone is. So Tom might think he's got a bit of a lead as he's dropping into one of those, and if Dan goes past at the right time, he's not going to notice. That looks like Dan catching him.
Second wind and all that.
Yeah. Maybe he was, he knew the heavy carries were coming and decided to save a little bit of energy for them. Good tactics. If that was the case, good tactics.
I missed the filming clip. Oh, are we? Oh, yeah. Look at that. We're on our way down now. I'm assuming we've done Stairway to Sparta. So the next obstacle is a Tough Mudder obstacle, Everest. So quarter pipe, and there's 2 versions of this for people to run. They can either do the full fat version with no penalty, or there's a slightly lower, slightly easier version, but there is some form of penalty as you do. I think James was talking about a crawl or something just to slow you right down again. Oh no, this is Stairway to Sparta. So we're at the top of the hill. But yeah, well, look at that. We're now back neck and neck.
Yeah. Shoulder to shoulder. This is great racing, Will. This is what we don't see, without this filming, this live filming and that, and big thanks to Claire and Kelly for doing this for us. We wouldn't see this, in the UK. This is the first time anything like this in the UK has happened. So, like we say, it's a learning curve for everyone. But it's great to see what actually happens on course, because we would just see them start and finish. So this is amazing.
It's amazing that we've got the buggy as well. This is fantastic. As you say, we can capture pretty much all of the action. But that's just as you said. There's the bit of kind of undulations, mud moguls. There's the forest and the woods where you can easily miss, you know, second or third place as you're trying to watch out for people in front or behind you.
Yeah, yeah. I like this section, me. And it does take it a little bit out of you, you know, and you that rolling hills and that. I think it just takes a little bit out of you. So is that Dan gone past Tom there? I'm looking through the trees and I'm looking like a black shirt out in front.
Can't actually see your eyesight's yeah, no, yeah. Dan's now taking the lead. This is amazing. This race is I'm so excited.
Yes, this is great. We need to go one stage further next time and get a buggy for the women's.
Is your budget stretch to that?
The budget doesn't stretch to this. I'm just hoping they don't bill us for it. You know, Tom doesn't look like he's striding as well as he was in the early part of the race. You know, when he was on Dan's shoulder, he looked very, very easygoing. He's looking tight now, if I'm honest.
I think maybe, you know, that was a very long uphill. We're what, about over 10 kilometers into this race. Maybe the ring rust, maybe that you know, that lack of race fitness may be starting to show at this late stage.
Now we've got different techniques. Oh, they're going for the fast lane. Yeah, they're both going for the fast lane. Oh, they both got up it. Well, that's good.
Well,
good
to be fair, I would have expected that. Yeah, I love Everest. It's brilliant, and you know, with a bit of technique, you can get up and over. Of course, it's generally a teamwork obstacle to get everyone up and over. But I wouldn't have expected those guys to have fallen back. Especially, it's a really nice dry day, dead easy. It's a little bit grippy underfoot, so they shouldn't have made any hard work of that, and they didn't. They were just gliding up there.
Definitely, and we had two of our patrons on the TO in there with Michelle Carney and B Wood. A big shout out to them. So this is a long run down the hill now.
So yeah, they basically ran up the hill, and then they're now on the way down. This is about halfway. So again, you can gauge how long this uphill section really was for them as they were going. They go through now. I remember this bit now. Yeah. They're the hay bales.
They're the hay bales for the fence.
This bit is quite undulating as well, and you don't necessarily have to be careful, but it's a slightly more technical than the rest of the course has been.
Yeah, and we're coming down to, I think, what could be a game changer here, down at the bottom, because we have got the Hercules hoist, which is followed by rolling mud. Now, rolling mud here at Belvoir Castle can sometimes be really heavy. You know, that mud down at the bottom, it's quite deep, it's quite claggy, and depending on how deep they've dug the ditches and how wide, there might not even be possible to leap from one bank to the other. It's going to be very interesting when we get down there to see.
Yeah, I really hope we can get the clear back for that, because again, rolling mud, this is a tough mud course, so it's going to be mud mile, so it's very claggy, generally quite deep. It shouldn't be muddy for them because this is the first time people have run through it, so it should be water. But as you say, actually, what might be more difficult is the steepness of these valleys for them. But yeah, it's probably going to be 4 hills generally, and I think at Tough Muddy you have to go backwards and forwards through them. But yeah, maybe very steep, but not really muddy at this early stage.
Yeah, definitely. And just after that as well, I mean, we've got the 8-foot walls, but then we've got the rope climb coming. 2 obstacles after rolling mud. Ooh, you know, you've got to be a bit mindful there. Use your trick, Will, as you know, find a stake, dry your hands on. That could be quite tough.
Did someone just get a lift there?
I think that was the rabbit that was on there earlier on. That looks like Tom
Oh,
just
Tom,
in the
yeah.
lead again. I think he took the lead coming down the hill from what I could see, Will.
I'm loving this race. It's shoulder to shoulder. This is what obstacle racing is all about.
I think Claire's trying to give us a run back up the hill to see third place. It looks like they've both pulled away again, if I'm honest. You know, they finished that obstacle with
Yeah, you can just see through the middle of that.
yeah.
You
Someone
can
coming
hear
down.
that is that's now Russell in third with sorry, no, Zach in third and then Russell. Mo is just coming out of the trees over there right now.
Oh, fantastic. Thanks for that, Claire. So we've got Dassos in third place and Russell. They'll be having a good battle there. They had a good battle at the Farmyard Jam, Will.
That sounded like a race and a half too.
23-hour warm-up for a 1 hour race. You don't get that.
Yeah, no, thank you.
So this is where they're going to come up to the looks like gone through rolling mud. And they're now coming up to the 8-foot walls. Nice technique there by Tom. Followed by Dan. Same technique, flipping themselves over.
I do suggest though, Dan is that little bit quicker. He's definitely caught a few seconds up there. Rope climb.
Rope climb, and now this is where, if they've got their hands wet, this could be a challenge. Now that looks like a no feet rope climb there from Tom. And he's opened the lead up a little bit as well. That technique of no feet, if you can master that, Will, you can quite easily open up a good lead on your fellow runners.
My very first Spartan race, because I'd never climbed a rope before. My very first Spartan race was all arms, up the rope climb. I got about 2/3 up. that was it. I had to take the penalty.
I've got to admit that rope climb didn't look as big as what I've seen some of them in the past. Might be me, I don't know, but it just didn't look like as big as what I've seen from the past.
Interestingly, I thought exactly the same, but they must all be the same height. Maybe it was just the way that the video shot it, because I don't think they changed the heights of the rope climb. But I also thought it was lower or shorter than before. So we're coming up to the next one. So we're almost now towards the end and towards the village. I think if Claire just turns around, you probably see the village. But it's the Taurus firefighter rig next. So again, this is another British Obstacle Sports exclusive obstacle.
How glad do you think they were going past them Spartan spear throws there? You know, they've got to be quite happy about
that. Claire, do you have a filter on your video?
I don't think she has, Will. I don't think she's got.
Sorry, I heard my name, but it's a little bit loud in the.
We was asking Claire if you've got a filter on your video.
No, it's probably dusty.
Hang
That explains it.
So I think that was.
It looks like we're really back together. Coming into the event village here. The Spartan trucks in the background. Tom in the lead and Dan right on his shoulder now.
I am absolutely loving this. This is absolutely what we're always after, aren't we?
Yeah.
Obviously not so much fun if you're Dan or Tom, but for the viewers, this is brilliant.
I mean, this is the point now where Tom's got to try and push. It looks like he is trying to push, you know, to break Dan. You know, Dan's caught him. He's got to proper step it up, you know, knowing that we've got the A-frame, the multi-rig, to come, he's got to go in that with a lead, or wanting to go in that with a lead.
That's right, because two obstacles now. Maybe he wants to stay on, and maybe Dan's thinking that his obstacle proficiency will get him through the rig quicker than Tom. And Tom's thinking he needs to put in a few seconds because he's probably not quite as quick over the rig as Dan would be. But both rolling down there.
Oh, both off
Yeah,
together,
neck-
right off together there. This is close.
Buggy now can't even keep up.
No.
This is the final rig. This is the multi rig.
And they're on it together. Oh, and Dan's just taken the lead. Fire jump to go. A sprint finish.
Oh,
Now I'm hoping Claire's going to jump on now and give us an update there. Claire, give us an update.
oh my God. That was a hell of a finish, even though we couldn't see it. Oh my God.
They are spent. What amazing race.
Oh!
Claire, can you hear us? Can you quickly let us know what the final was? I think we got Dan, but can you confirm that?
Oh my
I think
God,
we've
though.
lost connection again with it there. Will.
That finish, that's what we always want to see. Can we do this again for the next race, please? Oh my God.
Can we just have a replay of it? Can we ask him to go back and replay it?
I've got to say that was incredible. Following the whole race on a buggy was just awesome. So now we've got third and fourth. We've got Russell, and we've got Das. So, even so, still for third and fourth. A really close finish there.
Wow. Did Dan get it, Claire?
Sorry, what, Alan?
Did Dan pinch it from Tom? We didn't quite see him cross the finish line.
Dan pinched it.
Oh,
Dan, it was
fantastic.
so
Jeez.
close. It was literally inches. But yeah, Dan just pinched it. He doesn't want to talk to anybody right now.
That's
We've
fair.
got told to give him
That's
space for 5 minutes. So
And you're
we'll
going to
see
stick
who we've got
around
in fifth.
you're going to stick around for the female finish as well, Claire.
Absolutely, yeah, of course.
Amazing.
So we can probably actually, we'll see fifth come through, and then I will give it a quick jog back over and see who it is coming through.
Fantastic, Claire. And Claire, we absolutely loved that. That was so exciting from our point of view. We hope you enjoyed it as well on the back of the truck there. And
Here comes Mo. Here comes Mo. Is it Mo? Yeah, here's Mo. So Mo in fifth. Honestly, it was fantastic to be out there and actually track it around there. It was just a shame. Unfortunately, it was really hard to hear you guys, and obviously I couldn't speak because of the sound of the truck. But we can fix that for next time.
Yes, definitely.
And then we got Jason straight behind Mo as well.
So, Claire, can you just confirm it was Dan, then Tom, then Russell, then Das?
Correct. Then Das, Mo, and Jason.
Wow.
Wow.
But I mean, it was just so close. It was literally neck and neck. I'm not sure how much you could see, obviously, with the distance, but it was just neck and neck the whole way around. Absolutely fantastic to watch. Only one penalty there between the front two. So clean races, yeah, absolutely fantastic to watch.
It was great racing, and the ebb and flow backwards and forwards. Claire, we have had a question online. Could you turn your phone the opposite direction so we can get a bigger screen so it's on a landscape mode? Does it work?
Of course I can. Oh, hang on.
Oh, but then it doesn't
There we
work. No.
Is that better?
No, let's change it back because it's now sideways on the screen. Let's go back. There we go.
Well, it's lessons for us to learn for next time, right?
Too right. And
Oh.
you know,
Oh, now we've got a wobbly phone. Oh, my gimbal's failed. Right, let's take you off. Right. I will be back on video in 2 seconds, guys, and we will go and find the ladies.
fantastic. Thank you, Claire. Will, what an amazing race there. What such great running. The listeners are going to have to listen to me and you, and the viewers. I keep getting it right because we know I'm saying the listeners, don't we? They're going to have to listen to you from you in a second while Claire shoots out and tries and gets the ladies.
I know they're probably wondering what's going on, that they don't have a Lancashire voice talking to a Yorkshire voice.
They could think it's the Swift half.
I'm having a coffee this morning. What are you doing? No, absolutely amazing. And you picked Dan, I picked Tom. It was just that was. I think that race, that finish, is what we all want to see. Yeah. I'm lost for words. Neck and neck, pretty much the whole way through, and it was great that the third, fourth, fifth place started to come back at everyone as well. But you cannot ask or script a better race than that and a race finish than that.
No, I mean it was absolutely phenomenal. I mean, I was a little bit worried going up on the sandbag carry that I don't know if what was it with Dan, because he just seemed to be dropping back, didn't he? But I think he was conserving energy. It'd be great to get his views later on, because I was thinking, oh gosh, they've all caught up with him and that.
I'll see if we can get
energy.
See if we can get them on Who's Hot next week.
That would be a great shout for you, Will, because talking them through it, letting them talk through the race in their own words, because I wonder what was going through their minds. I think from my point of view, I think Tom looked like he wanted to try and get away from Dan before they got to that final rig, because we did see them hit it together, but Dan came off it, 1.5 seconds in front of Tom. And at the end of the day, that's the distance.
I've got Dan with me now. If you want to say a quick hi before we go and find the ladies,
that'd be brilliant.
See if we can. Oh, there we go. Technology. How was it?
It's a lot flatter than normal Spartan races around the UK. It's a lot quicker, but they've had a lot more confidence specifically for the championship wave. It was really hard to have a guy come back out of retirement to see if he can hit us at the championship, and within, I think, the time last week, I mean, only a second, just caught him on the last break. Took a gamble, jumped halfway, had the grip to swing from the rope to ring, cap the bell, sprint finish. So close.
Fantastic
really good race.
Well done, Dan. Fantastic effort. Let's see if we can grab Tom quickly. Tom, can we grab you on the live stream? See quick. Welcome back. How was your first race back?
It's good. Call it good. Fell off the balance beam. Other than that, it's probably great.
But fantastic. Like watching you guys head to head was just
best
fantastic.
race I've had in the UK, competition-wise and elsewhere.
So is this you back for good now?
I've been that next year to win. Sorry, Dan. Sorry for upsetting you.
There you go. There's the big words on the live stream.
So,
Tommy's back to win in 25. So watch this space.
another battle. So here we go. Let's go. Get training now.
I think that says it all. Okay. We'll come back and find these guys in a bit, but we'll see if we can find some ladies. So there's Tom and Dan, and some big words there from Tom. He is back to win in 25. So definitely going to be an exciting season next year.
We're loving it, Claire. We're loving it.
Live streaming.
On this side.
James Burton race. What do you think, James? How are you feeling about the race? How do you feel it's gone so far?
So far, the first 6, then it's the best course they've done at Spartan race. So I'm happy with that. Let's just hope everyone else does, and then I can go home happy. Yeah.
Fantastic job, James.
Great race, that one.
Great one.
Right, here's Alex just coming through. Great job, Alex. And
Alex Young is killing it in the UK OCR series at the moment.
he really
is
is.
that on
He's
the
having a
ribbon?
cracker. Right. I will just switch off. Oh. No. So got Darren just coming through here. Haven't seen any ladies as yet, but we are going to find them. Let me just double check with James if he knows. James?
Brilliant. That was Darren Martin of Accountability Corner, doing very well.
Yeah, so no, we don't know any ladies' positions yet, Will, but we are looking for them as we speak. So I will hop back on the camera as soon as we see them.
Thanks, Claire. It's great that Tom's saying he's going to come back next year and try and
I'm loving it.
compete.
Absolutely loving it, because the UK OCR series, both the men and the women, is getting so competitive, and that's what we want, isn't it? you can't always have just the one person in front because it does get boring. But that head to head, if people see that, if we were able to get some form of recording of that back and people to watch that, that's so exciting. And if we can have more races like that, it's always good. Obviously, if you're the champion, Max Verstappen or whatever, and you're always winning. But for the viewers, it's not so interesting. So having Tom and Dan together. Russell Walsh has come through this year because normally he's only doing the Scottish races, but it seems like he's committed to the UK OCR League, so he's up there. Das is doing really well. There's a lot of contenders across the whole board, not just the elites, but also the age groups. And this is what it's all about. This is what makes it exciting. This is what will get more people into the sport.
Definitely. And that on the UK OCR series as well, because we know this is like, what this race is part of it. Russell was going into this leading. Dan was in place, but Dan had only run 2 races. Perfect score so far, 2 out of 2. This is going to give him 3 out of 3, put him in a great position now, going into the final few races of the season. But Russell's there on his heels. It's second, third, and fourth is really up for grabs, and if Dan doesn't get another high point, then it's it's going to be it's open. The league is still open for the men.
Absolutely. I'm just looking at the standings as we speak now. So Dan will go straight to the top. What hasn't helped Russell obviously is Tom. So that would have pushed a few points down from him. That's us in third place at the moment. He will get a few more points. Alex was up there as well. Finley, we haven't seen Finley come through yet. But no.
My apologies. Finley is literally just going through the rig right now and over the finish line. Sorry, I've just put the phone on charge, but yeah, Finn's just come in.
Brilliant, thank you.
Thanks for that, Claire. I love it how Claire just jumps in, Will. I love that.
So Mo currently down in 12th with 2 races, so he's going to be added to his score. This, the league itself is going to become absolutely competitive. But this is all about being the British champion, and we've already crowned our first British champion 2024 in Dan Tickham. And what a race to watch! And it's such a privilege to being able to watch that. And thanks to Spartan, British Obstacle Sports, and Claire to be able for us to watch and commentate on, because oh my God, if that was a perfect race to watch. I am actually lost for words of how good that race was.
Without a doubt, Will. Without a doubt.
I can't tell you what it was like being on that truck. Honestly, just being able to experience watching a race the whole way around, which, let's be honest, we very rarely get to do, was very, very cool. Slightly sickening, but slightly scary, but it was very cool to watch. So I think this is definitely the way to go for OCR Media, without a doubt.
We hope we can do this at much more races, Claire. And
can we get our own truck though, please, Alan?
Yeah.
We need our own special quad now, and I need a better gimbal.
We need high quality gimbals, and we need
some high quality gear now. So I think it's time for a little bit of shopping, and yeah, we can hopefully get some awesome coverage in the future. And maybe I won't even go back to racing. I'll just stay doing this because this is kind of fun.
How much is in your budget, Alan?
So what was that, Will?
Funny enough, you misheard that bit, Will. What a shock.
Oh yeah, I thought that too. I'm still waiting for my pay.
We give you pay rises every week, Will. Your pay rise increases by 17% on a weekly basis. It's just that you started off at 0, and as we all know, that a percentage of 0 still remains 0.
I want to be in the truck next time.
Oh no, I think I claim that now, Will. I'll fight you for it.
I think we're going to have a big everyone wants to jump on the bandwagon with this Jeep now, don't we?
It's great for your core exercise, trying to stay upright and spin from side to side with the camera. So apologies if it was a little bit on the shaky side, but yeah, it's definitely a good workout. So we're just heading over I'm walking over to Firefight at the moment. I can't see any of the ladies yet, but I can't imagine they're going to be too far behind.
Yeah, it shouldn't be too much longer before we start to see the front runners come through.
What I thought was interesting in that one, which I didn't realise, was that the spear throw wasn't in. Which
Good or
traditionally
bad,
we
Claire?
always see.
Good or
Sorry,
bad
Alan?
in your opinion?
Good. For me, that's not a championship obstacle because there is a portion of luck in it. So I think this time from an obstacle perspective, I think James really has got it bang on. There's a great mixture of obstacles, a great mixture of terrain. We've seen some of the more technical things in there. So I think from a course perspective, it absolutely the best sort of championship event we've seen in the UK.
Here. Couldn't agree more on that. That's, you know, seeing it live was great for us, but you're quite right. The obstacle placement, you know, the only thing we was contemplating was after the mud mounds, they put the rope climb 2 obstacles after. Could have been a bit different and interesting there to see that Tom went up it hand over hand after coming through, you know, the rolling mud.
Yeah. Well, I think the only thing for me, the only obstacle I would probably question in the event was the sandbag barbed wire crawl. Because certainly later on that's going to create some cues. But also I think for me that's not, is there really the skill in that we want to see in OCR? But aside from that one, and we've actually got the first female coming through. So tell me guys, who's it going to be? Who do you think it is?
I'm going Fedi.
Fedi. Or Karen.
I think you've made a good call there, gentlemen.
Okay, brilliant. Is there anyone? Can you see?
There is someone behind who I think. Who is that? It looks a bit like Karen, but she's not in her race top. So here we go. Here's Fedi.
Come on, Drew! Come on, Drew!
So can you follow through, Claire, and then go to the multi-rig, and then we can watch all the finishes
Of course,
go through
yeah,
multi-rig.
absolutely.
Awesome.
Should have done my shoes up more tightly.
And I know you're multitasking, but how far back is second place?
Not far. Far enough at this point in the race, but not far.
So if we get Fedi with a clean race here,
It might actually be Josie in it might be Josie in second. I think it is Josie in second.
Oh wow.
Fedi just going over the net now.
Interesting the series, Will, that Fedi and Josie have both only done 2 races and there is less than 100 points between them. So
wow.
This is crucial for the series.
Yes, and I just looking at the score here, that I think this first place will push Fedi up to first place with 1,465. Karen's on 1,400
It is
points at the
Josie
moment.
in second. Josie's just around the corner.
So we need to see Fedi do this is going to be clean from Fedi, which, you know, she's got the ability to do it. She's taking the time.
Nice there.
Yeah.
And of course, she's a Spartan pro racer.
There we go. So that's Fedi through to the finish.
Oh,
Closely
wow.
followed by Josie.
Another close race. I mean, both on the final obstacle together.
Oh,
Oh,
Josie, you got this. You got
Nobody
this.
coming behind at the moment. Yes, well done, Josie.
great there.
And then we will see if we can find third.
I still haven't been able to do that bloody multi-rig. It's those rope things that I just can't keep hold of.
They're vile, aren't they?
Yeah.
Right, can we find third?
For me, it's always difficult because I'm quite tall. I actually, you know, you've got to literally lift your whole body up. If you don't do it with, you know, a bent arm, I can't do them because my feet just hit the floor, and I hate doing it that way. I like to.
Right, I can see Gab Hogarth running towards me, which I'm going to make an assumption that means that Karen is on her way.
Awesome.
Karen in third, Gab. Is Karen in third? Yeah. Karen's in third. Ahishka, who, sorry? And Becky's just behind Karen in fourth. So we can just see Karen coming over the net.
Becky, co-presenter of Whose Hearts?
Yeah. But she's got a little bit of a lead there on Becky as well, Claire.
Becky's literally just coming behind now. She's just coming onto the net.
Karen's been doing so well this season, hasn't she? She's not come from nowhere, but she's really kind of stepped it up and in kind of the top 3 positions each time. She's really pushed forward.
100%. Her obstacle ability, etc., has just increased humongously after a fantastic performance as well as at the Euros. We really are seeing some change in the way that the athletes are approaching the obstacles now. It's a very different sport to what it was pre-COVID.
Oh, this is a lot of muscle there. Well done, Karen. She lost momentum there, didn't she? That was a great recovery.
There we go. And Becky right behind.
Becky's got this. Oh, that's not commentator's curse, by the way.
That's always my fear. I think after managing to catch Lou falling off obstacles at both the Euros and the Worlds, I need to stay away
Oh my God, I thought she
from live stream when Lou gets here.
That is a very difficult transition from the.
It's just mainly through
hanging
the
ropes.
shoulders. You drop too fast, and then you can really pull on those shoulders. So you have to keep it very, very controlled as you go across those. If you're going literally step by step for the attachments.
And I've just realised now the runner in orange, the rabbit, it's Ferg.
It is indeed Ferg. Yep, Ferg has been out on quite a large portion of the course actually. It's a lot more contained than it probably looks actually when you're on film. I mean, there is obviously that big section that goes out, but a lot of the obstacles are you are able to reach from the village with a couple of K's in your belt. Now there's a rumble coming over the net.
What do you reckon, Lou?
No, it's a male. I just can't tell from the back who it is. It's forget his name. What's his name? Help me.
We can't see. It's a bit far for us, isn't it?
Great job. It's one of the ninjas. Hunter. Johnny, there we go. Johnny Hunter. He's one of the ninja guys that came over and joined Rumble. So he was out at the Euros recently.
It's a lot of running for him.
It is a lot of running for him, without a doubt. And it's, with this course, some elevation, not massive elevation. For somebody like Russell, who very much comes from a trail running background, the Euros was really well suited to him. He had a fantastic race. I think he was the second Brit behind Dan, about a minute and a half behind him. Whereas this little bit flatter, he obviously still has a lot of speed, but it's not that fell running background that he's used to.
I think
you're
right.
Jason, actually.
Absolutely, I think you're right that this is too flat and fast for the likes of Russell and Jason. Yes, you're right. There's a few undulations, but too quick for them, I think.
Yeah, I mean, would I be absolutely hanging out running around it? Absolutely, but for those guys, it's pretty flat. So I'm not seeing a fifth female at the moment. We've got Jason Morland's just about to come in now to the net, and over there, I think that's another male coming round. So let's head back to the rings. Obviously, Jason.
So I'm assuming, and I'll put this out to Claire or Alan. No Andrea, no Libby. They're probably going to be running tomorrow in the series race.
Correct. Yeah. So Libby's running tomorrow. I'm not sure about Andrea. Not sure if she's around this weekend, but Libby is certainly running tomorrow. Libby is running the Beast this afternoon. Is it? She's here. I'll check what she's running.
I
There we
talk
go.
to her quite often. I should really know what Libby's running, shouldn't I? But I haven't asked her.
I spoke to Joycey and Libby last night, so I was told just the information retention. Hello, you are live on YouTube, Mr. Morn. Oh no, there's definitely a lot of blood on this. Edit that bit.
This is the great thing about it. We can't edit none of these comments.
You're magic, Alan. You can do everything.
It's normally me with the bloopers. I don't think I've caused any bloopers yet, have I? Yet.
No, well, you've been absolutely brilliant today. I mean, thank you very much for joining as well. It's been great to have you on and that.
So I only a little bit of prep this morning after being asked to do it last night. I thought you was
Probably more
asking me
prep than
to.
I did, which was download Zoom as the race was starting. Oh, here we go. It's Tamar in fifth.
Right, just
Amazing.
going to back what Dan said about that multi-rig at the end. Did he say he took a gamble and went from?
Yeah, so he jumps to the end of the pole.
Wow. And that's experience, that, isn't it? Because
Yeah, and trust. And it's the calculated risk. How far can I push it without the risk becoming too great? And obviously at that point in the race, they literally were. I don't think it was even a second between them at the finish line. Great job, Tamar. But not even a second behind them. You win or lose, right? There is no other option. So that's when sometimes those risks become more valuable.
Yeah, they literally hit it together. We was commenting about they hit it together, went on the step together, and they both leaped. And I think for Dan, it must have been going through his head, and he alluded to that if he came off that first, he'd won the race. And I think
that's on that, absolutely.
That Tom's not probably obstacle efficient as he used to be. The calculated risk worked well for him. Great racing.
But I think this is what's going to be interesting for 25, Alan, is, you're right. Tom's not been out on OCR since Challenge Cup in 22. But he said very clearly, he's back and he's back to the title next year. So that's obviously going to be a very clear point he's working on. I think with Dan, what we can see from there is what everybody probably already knows is it's the strength side, those carries. Tom has got the strength to pick up the speed on those carries. So they've both got something to work on for the rest of the year and see what they can come back with next year. But I think it's going to be really exciting to see what they can do over the training season.
Very much so.
Sixth, we've got Pip Rainbow, I think. Yep.
Interesting. So I just wanted to go back to Tamar on that.
No, I'm lying. No, it's not.
I don't know whether you noticed, Alan, but Tamar, she is through that multi-rig. I think out of all the ladies that we've been able to watch, she made it look the easiest.
Her obstacle efficiency has just absolutely flown. Obviously, she's training with Jack Carpenter, and you can very much see the change in her over the last year, 18 months.
Yeah, I absolutely agree there.
This is somebody from Nuclear Phoenix. Yep, absolutely no idea who that is.
Interesting that we haven't seen Shyla come through yet.
Shy is literally just coming up to the net now, Alan. It's like you're psychic. There's Barry Buchanan coming in for the PT Farm races. Great job, Barry. So we'll go and watch her. Obviously, Shy is a whole different animal over the rigs with her, the upper body strength that she has. And watching her on some of the rigs is fantastic. She's just so strong. I definitely have bicep envy.
Oh yeah, she's an amazing athlete. Some of the things she's done and that. But I mean, last year I think she was 4th in the British Champs last year, and I know she's worked quite heavily on some of her running that. So that's where I thought she might have been a little bit higher up than where she currently is this year. I
think maybe for this course,
perfect. Yeah,
I think with this course, you rightly said earlier, there's the way it's been laid out, you've kind of got a section of obstacles, a section of running, and Shy's fast, but she's not as fast as some of the others. So where you've got that kind of stretch out to run, and that's why Tom and Dan were out there. They're the fastest runners, just pure runners in the pack. And it's a perfect combination for the obstacles and the runners, but you've got those run sections where you can open up and go.
And my guess would be that's probably where Shy is a little bit further back in the pack this year, would be my guess. She can watch this later and put me right on that. And obviously we only had the Euros 2 weeks ago as well, so a lot of these guys are still tired from the Euros. It was a tough course, there was a lot of elevation. Again, another great course that was out there, but yeah, the guys are still going to be tired from that.
Absolutely, Claire. And we talk about Who's Hot, and another plug there of how people get back up again after 2 weeks ago Euros, and somehow getting back up for British champs, because 2 weeks is an odd time then to try and either take a bit of a rest, and it's too long just to take a rest. So you've got to have a little bit of uptime to get back up for British champs. But it's they're coming so close together. But
absolutely, and we've just got Cheryl coming in, and obviously last week as a fun event, not many of the races there, but we had Mud Monsters. It was amazing to see that race back on the calendar. So we actually went down there and went for a bit of a fun run, 2.5 hours for 7k. That's what I call value for money.
Wow.
It was brilliant. But here's Cheryl, and we've got Pip just behind Cheryl. So yeah, a lot of these guys are that were out there are going to be tired.
Interesting there on the rig there for Shyla. Well, I don't know if you noticed, but when she went from the rope part, she only touched one rope and one ring. So from Traverse, she then did everything just once. Boom, she was done.
Her strength is just incredible. On the hay, we've got Lou Fairman just behind Pip.
Nice.
That technique then, the swing. Oh.
Another person who's obstacle efficiency has really made leaps and bounds forward over the last year.
Did a lot of these runners come up last night, Claire, and stop close by?
Yes, yeah, I think the majority of people certainly did stay up last night. Middle of the country, so it's accessible for people, but it's still, everyone's got a decent drive. Lou Fairman is going to murder me.
Oh, that commentator's curse there, that from you, Claire. I'm glad I didn't mention that.
Every time I live stream Lou on an obstacle, she comes up. Okay, I'm going to stay away from Lou.
Say hello to Julie again.
We'll just wave at Julie instead. But yeah, most people came up last night. We had an interesting experience. We stayed at a local camp, turned up with a nice room with a single bed. So obviously Dan racing today, I did the right thing, and I had a beautiful sleep on the floor.
Oh, you're so nice. So he's got to thank you. That's going to be in his thank you speech for you for letting him have the bed.
Absolutely. I can definitely, the old age is kicking in this morning. I know I slept on the floor last night. Right, let's see if we can find anybody else. And it's starting to warm up a bit now. It's actually quite humid down here. So at the start, it was pretty fresh out. It was as in a nice temperature for racing. When the sun came out over the back there, it was warm very quickly. And now it's cloudy, but it's kind of that humidity, sticky, needs a bit of a rain type going on, which is definitely going to make it a little bit more challenging, I think, for the age group guys. Who's that? There's a PT Barnes top just coming over there.
Are these some of the age groupers coming through now, Claire, do we think?
I think they must be, because I'm just trying to think. I mean, how many people went off that start line for the men? Even for the men, it was only what, 15 in elite, maybe?
10, 15, yeah.
Yeah, it wasn't many. So I think we must be seeing some of the age groupers coming through.
That's perfect.
Someone's being followed. I'm guessing it's. I can see Finn, so I'm assuming he is with somebody who's coming around. Who that might be?
We haven't seen our other co-presenter, Chris, yet, have we? But
I did see him briefly out on course, but I missed him. I was looking the other way, and as I turned around, he was going in the other direction.
Yeah, we spoke to him yesterday, and because we wanted him to rabbit, but he got a ticket last minute, and his ankle is better, but obviously not enough to be competitive. He said he'd be running around more for fun today than anything else. He didn't want the FOMO.
That's the risk. You go out too early. Those injuries, you just risk putting yourself back again, don't you? And I think everybody's starting to realise it's just not worth it. So got Stuart Jeffrey coming over here. So yeah, we are into the age groupers. So I will probably leave you guys in peace shortly and go and get myself some breakfast.
Yes, Claire, we'll wrap up right now. Thank you very much for joining us. Will you be going live on Facebook later with the podiums or anything like that?
Yeah, I think we can probably manage that. So yeah, we can, if that works for you guys, then we can certainly go live for the podiums.
Yep, so we're just going to go live on Facebook with that though, Claire. That'd be absolutely perfect. Thank you very much. Will, before I let you go, thank you for coming on. Is there anything you want to add?
No, but that was probably the best race I've ever watched and witnessed, and it's such a privilege to commentate and to watch that. Absolutely amazing.
Wonderful.
Big smiles there coming through the finish. Look at that. Oh, well,
No.
It's been an absolute pleasure, guys. We will work on the kit and let's see what we can come up with next year to make this even better. But yeah, thank you for allowing me the privilege to be out on the buggy.
Thank you, Claire. It's been a pleasure. And to everyone else, don't forget, you know where we are, YouTube, Facebook, everyone else. Thank you for watching. Until next time, thank you, everyone. Bye.
Bye.